Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Toon Raider channel. Today we're going to be talking more about the Dragon Ball Super Chapter 90. So shortly a while ago, I uploaded a video talking about some of the early chapter leaks, and now we're back with a full summary of the chapter ahead of its scheduled release. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, and then we'll get on to some of the news concerning the games. Chapter 90, Showdown with Dr. Hito. The chapter opens with Officer Krillin asking Cricket District citizens if they knew which convenience store the zombies worked at. One of the citizens points him to a nearby store. Krillin visits the store and asks the zombies to come with him to the police station so he could ask them about their boss. Just then, Krillin notices Pilaf Gang's Mai in the store and gets distracted. Seeing this as a chance, the zombie trio tries to run away, but Officer Krillin stops them at gunpoint and arrests them. Meanwhile, we see Goten on Kinto-un flying to his school. He gets off Kinto-un to cover the remaining distance by bus. He does this to keep the fact that he comes from far away a secret. We talked about that in the last video. Chalk waits for Goten, they then get on the bus. Chalk asks Goten if he really lives in that area as he's never met him outside of school. Goten tells him that he doesn't like to come out of home that much. Fela, Goten's classmate, I feel like there was a different name for her in the translations, but we'll roll with this for now. Asks him how he's on good terms with Trunks since Trunks is a year older than him. Goten answers to her by saying that their families have been close friends for years, which is so cute and sweet. I love that. So naturally, him and Trunks grew up together since childhood. Fela then requests Goten to convince Trunks to ask her out for the dance party that weekend. Chalk thinks Trunks would already have someone to go to the party with since he's so popular. But Goten clears it out that there's nobody such even though he knows Trunks wanted to ask out Mai for the same. Again, some translation errors, but that's okay, just some typos. Suddenly, the bus stops and Dr. Hito's Beta number 7 stands in front of them. Beta number 7 calls out Goten, knowing that he's the Saiyaman. Chalk notes how recently there have been a lot of people following Goten. That's true. Chalk opens the window and helps Goten escape from the bus. Goten runs to an alley and uses his wristwatch to transform into Saiyaman X2. X2 starts fighting Beta number 7. Fela and Chalk note how Saiyaman always appears when Goten disappears. X2 defeats Beta number 7 with ease. And again, we're seeing more of Goten in this chapter. I like that. At Blue Hell High School, Scale sells invites to the dance party. Trunks comes walking. Scale tells him that the Klingon himself will show up in the party. Mai joins the conversation. She notices something and then asks Trunks if he wants to join her to the party. He said, "Whoa, okay." Then we see Mai looking at a spy bee flying nearby. It's none other than Hito's. He listens to the entire conversation and gets excited upon hearing that Klingon himself would show up in the party. Hito drops the mission to find the disc and decides to go to the party. Alpha 12 notes that you're allowed entry only if you come with a female student. Back at school, Trunks tells Goten that he's happy he didn't have to reveal his Saiyaman identity to Mai and things still went smoothly with her. Also, a quick side note I forgot to mention, it's storming outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear all that stuff in the background. Anyway, Trunks leaves as he has to go buy some clothes for the party, which is why he turns down Goten's offer to play games. Dang, sorry Goten. As Goten wonders what to answer Fela, Mai pulls Goten to a corner as she sees the spy bee near him. Mai tells Goten that they're being watched. It's over if they find out where you live. Mai suspects that those androids from before had been watching them all this time. Goten realizes that's how they knew where Goten was and sent their androids. Mai remembers Beta number 1's words that he said he was made by Dr. Hito. Mai looked up the name and found out that Hito expertises, I guess that's supposed to be, what's the word? Expertises? No, there's a different word for it. Specializes in androids. Since nobody knows where Hito's hideout is, Mai decided to lure him out by mentioning the Klingon dance party, knowing that he's a big fan of the hero. Goten is shocked to hear that all this was part of Mai's plan, while Trunks is super happy. Mai asks Goten to keep this a secret from Trunks. Day of dance party arrives. Goten is there with Fela. Trunks and Mai arrive. And Trunks deposits the disc bag to the staff and asks him to keep it safe for him. Everyone's eyes are on Mai as she wears a battle armor. Interesting, okay. Phala notices Mai. She considers her a former formidable enemy who stands between her and Trunks. Okay. Trunks asks Mai to come to the first row to watch the Clean God's appearance on stage, but Mai says she'll watch it from there. Goten asks Mai if Hedo would really show up there. Mai is very sure of it. Once he comes, Mai will be able to recognize him as she's seen his photos. Trunks goes to the front row and stands beside Hedo. Trunks and Hedo get into a conversation. They both talk about how big fans they are of Clean God. Hedo shows him Clean God limited edition t-shirt. Trunks envies him. Hedo tells that he also got Clean God's autograph that day, but someone stole it recently. Trunks feels sorry for him and curses the thieves. Mai then notices Hedo with Trunks. She tells Trunks to get away from him as she points a gun at Hedo. But Beta stops her from firing the gun. Beta was there with Rula. Just then, the police raids the party. "Dr. Hedo, you're under arrest for stealing bodies from the mortuary," says Officer Krillin. Oh, I gave him the wrong voice. Krillin thanks Mai for the tip. Hedo uses his smokescreen gun to cause a distraction and escapes. Krillin decides to go after Hedo alone, while his team searches for his hideout. Trunks asks Mai if she did all this to catch Hedo. Mai says yes. Trunks asks her why she didn't tell him about this sooner. Mai tells him that Bulma wanted her to keep an eye on Trunks so he doesn't get involved in unnecessary things. Interesting. Okay. The staff tells Trunks that the disc bag has been stolen. Mai tells Trunks to become Saiyaman X1 and go recover the disc from Hedo. Trunks is shocked to know that Mai knew his secret identity, which is interesting. I mean, I guess so. So whenever she saw Saiyaman X1 and it was future Trunks and she was a little bit smitten, does that mean she's a little bit smitten with Trunks as he is now? Trunks, okay, here we go. Trunks thought she thought X1 to be future Trunks. Mai tells him that it was what she initially thought, but in this world, only one Trunks exists. Okay, exactly answered my question right there. Trunks promises Mai to catch Hedo and become the strongest and coolest superhero for her. After that, would she like to go on dates with him? Whoa! The Mai and Trunks romance is officially starting. Mai agrees and says if he catches Hedo, she'll go out on dates with him. And okay, we are definitely going to talk about that, especially since I brought it up in the Valentine's Day video. Beta hands over the disc to Hedo, confirming that it was indeed Trunks who had it. Trunks and Goten catch up with Krillin, who's after Hedo. Krillin tells them that Hedo is Jiro's grandson, who also expertises or specializes in creating androids. Hedo used the androids to work part-time at convenience stores to gather research funds for himself. Krillin asks the boys to keep it a secret from Bulma and the others, which is why we don't see it in the movie. There we go. Trunks remembers Jiro being the one who created Cell. Okay. Krillin tells the boys that it seems that a more dangerous organization has started making its moves. Before he names the organization, he gets interrupted by a call from HQ. The lady in the car reports Krillin that it is indeed Red Ribbon Army who was after Hedo as they suspected. Trunks and Goten overhear the name Red Ribbon Army. Trunks asks Krillin if Red Ribbon Army is the same evil organization that existed in the past. Krillin says yes, it seems they've recently revived. Krillin fears if Red Ribbon Army teams up with Hedo, something bad is surely going to happen. Krillin says that the disc's data is very dangerous. Trunks confirms it had the blueprints of a creature. Krillin says they need to hurry before Red Ribbon gets to Hedo. Trunks and Goten are super happy as the great evil they've been waiting for is finally here. Krillin regrets telling the whole story to the kids. Yeah. He's like, that is not the reaction you guys should be having. Hedo reaches his hideout. Saiyaman X1 and X2 and Krillin also arrive. Hedo has no choice but to activate the not yet completed Artificial Dinosaur number 1. Artificial Dinosaur number 1 grabs X2 and slaps X1 away. Krillin punches the dinosaur, but it fires a beam at Krillin. Krillin dodges it. Dinosaur destroys the laboratory, firing multiple beams. Hedo is worried. Dinosaur grabs X1 by his paws on the ground. X1 tries a key wave attack, but the dinosaur endures it. Krillin starts attacking all over its body to find a weak point. He finds the weak point behind its neck and launches a Destructo Disc. It makes the dinosaur unable to move. Trunks and Goten are out of his grasp. They then turn Super Saiyan, which is a really cool shot in the leaked pages, which I'm not going to include in this video just to be safe, and dash through its body with Cyclone-type double hurricane attack, making a hole in its body. Hedo is where the dinosaur got destroyed. X1 and X2 strike their cleanup pose. Krillin handcuffs Hedo and his androids and arrests them. Krillin takes the discs from Hedo. He opens it, but finds no disc there. Oh, disc case, my bad. Instead, it contained Hedo and Klingod's photograph with his autograph. Krillin asks what happened to the disc. Hedo says that he destroyed the disc as it was a pain in the butt. That data is stored in his brain, however. Hedo says that he's least interested in Jiro's research. He just happened to keep the disc as the case was the perfect size to keep the photograph. Goten finds the destroyed disc. And so, Hedo and the androids were arrested. At the request of the zombies' families, their sentences were reduced and they returned to their homes. Interesting. The only crime Hedo was charged with was stealing corpses from mortuary and putting them to work at convenience stores. So he was sentenced to 3 months in jail. Hedo intends to continue his research from prison remotely. He launches Hachimaru, which is a much better version than Tintamaru. The chapter closes with Hedo making a vow to one day create the strongest android in the world. So, what do I really think about this chapter? Well, to tell the truth, I think there's a lot of powerful storytelling going on here. And I know it's very simple, down-to-earth, grounded storytelling, but we are finally here to the superhero movie, and the next chapter will actually open up with adapting the superhero movie. That's right, we're getting another adaptation. So all the people celebrating that this prequel arc is now over, they are now going to be the same people complaining that we're getting an adaptation of superhero for the next several months, if that ends up happening. I know. It's the life of a Dragon Ball fan. I've really been enjoying the prequel arc just because it wasn't an adaptation and we got to see more of Goten and Trunks and got to highlight them. So let's hope we get more of that in the superhero manga arc. Heck, maybe we might even see Gotenks in his proper form in the superhero manga arc. But yeah. Alright, so moving on from that, let's go ahead and get into the other topic of discussion today, which is going to be the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC. So we got a first look at that in the Jump magazine. And as you can see, they actually did a really good job with the models. So a lot of times in previous Dragon Ball games, whenever they did this end of Dragon Ball arc with the tournament and Goku versus Piccolo and all that, they would simply use adult Goku from Dragon Ball Z as the model for this younger, more teen-ish Goku. So here, I'm really glad they went with the actual teen Goku look. He looks a little bit on the thinner side, just like he did in the end of Dragon Ball. And I think it's beautifully recreated that he's got this actual costume that he had on in that cutscene that you can see there from the anime. We got Giant Piccolo as well, so I'm really excited for this DLC. I definitely enjoyed the Bardock DLC, so I'm excited to see what they do with this DLC. And then moving on from that, we also got some Dragon Ball The Breakers content. Now, I'm not playing this game. I haven't played this game since the beta. It just doesn't appeal to me. But I do think it's cute. So we got a new raider. That's Vegeta. So I think it goes Cyberman, Nappa, Vegeta, and then Grade 8 Vegeta. So that's like the evolution that you go through. I think it starts with the Cyberman. And then we have new Survivor skins. It's Yajirobe, Chi-Chi, and King Furry. I'm glad all you King Furry fans out there are finally getting some representation. King Furry's definitely been a really big pick for a lot of gamers in the past. A lot of Dragon Ball fans have always wanted King Furry. Anyways, I guess that's all we really need to touch on today. Oh, we also got Orange Piccolo and more info about the Xenoverse 2 DLC. As far as that goes, it's some loading screens, some recolors for the CC mascots, and then Orange Piccolo. We also got some costumes and stuff as well. Saw a lot of people complaining, hoping that this isn't the only character we're getting in this pack. Let's hope that's not the case as well. But similar to the Breakers, I haven't been playing a bunch of Xenoverse 2 lately, but for you Xenoverse 2 fans, there you go. I just want Xenoverse 3, you know? Like, just give me Xenoverse 3. Anyways, guys, we're going to end the video there. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you have something to say, comment down below. And if you feel like it, subscribe. And hopefully you enjoyed everything that we talked about today. If you didn't, let me know. What did you not get excited for? What are you disappointed about? Would love to figure out. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Have a good one. Peace off.